All right, Doc.
So we have one here from a female, finally.
Yeah, a couple
Again,
females.
thank you, ladies, for chiming in. This young lady would like her to keep her some of her information off the record, she says here. So I'll do my best to keep this as anonymous as possible. It says, "Hi, Dave. I have a few questions for you. This is very personal, so I hope you will be discreet. My name is, and I am a 31 years old. I am 5'4" and weigh 138 pounds. I have been lifting weights as of October 2019, and I really have a passion for it. I would love to compete in a bikini competition. I was wondering what you thought about Anavar and the side effects, etc. This is where it gets tricky. In 2018, I got a DUI, and I'm currently being monitored by a certain organization with random drug tests by a certain group, although they are currently not testing now. I don't drink anymore and haven't since January 2018. I don't want to do anything to jeopardize my career, and I would not want to risk failing a drug test. I have only a certain amount of time left of monitoring. Please let me know what you think, or if there's anything more natural that I could take as well. I'd be open to doing a Skype as well. Hope you're doing well in these tough times. Sincerely." So, I don't know. In each industry, they have their own regulations as to what's okay and what's not.
Right.
Okay. California, for example, I'm sure with the laws changed here, there's probably certain professions that you can smoke pot and they have no recourse, just like you can drink alcohol and they have no recourse, as long as you don't drink on the job,
Right.
or smoke on the job. But there are certain professions that say, no, I don't care what the local law is, or whether it's a federal license or a state license. They may say specifically you are not allowed to take this or that unless it's under prescription, or even if it's under prescription, etc. So I can't address that part. That's where she has to do her own homework. But in terms of the medical part, we all know that the oxandrolone or Anavar is a fantastic anabolic. So if you're a female who's trying to increase muscle mass and you've tried everything else, you're eating right, you're training right, you're sleeping right, you're getting sufficient rest, and you can't get any further, then yeah, oxandrolone is a great one for females because it's a dihydrotestosterone derivative, but it doesn't have very strong androgenic side effects at all. So it's great for men and women for just that reason, because people don't like necessarily to have the secondary male sex characteristics
Right.
side effects. It also doesn't convert to estrogen, so it's good in the sense, whether it's for male or female bodybuilders, that it's easy to control the potential water weight gain, the fat accretion that can occur when there's excess estrogen involved. So it's a great one. And I mentioned earlier the dose for males, but for females, it can be as little as 5 milligrams a day. And again, it depends. I mean, if you're an 80-year-old lady that's 100 pounds and 5'3", then you can get away with 2.5. I have a patient like that, 81 actually. But 5 milligrams on up to maybe as much as 15 milligrams. Now I'm talking about medically supervised. I'm not talking about bodybuilding extremes or anything like that. So I want to just make that line there, because I know there are some female bodybuilders that are going, "What, are you kidding me? That's not even gonna make it through breakfast." And I'm half kidding, but most because it's a great anabolic steroid.
Right.
I mean, really, you don't need a whole lot of it, and certainly for bikini and not necessarily bodybuilding where you're talking about a lot of excess. No, I don't want to say excess, but a lot of additional muscle mass.
Right.
You don't need a whole bunch. But again, if you get to that point where you've tried everything else, that's a great one.
Awesome. Wouldn't you, just to go back to the question where she was asking, being tested and stuff, I'm just talking common sense here. If you're getting tested because you had a DUI, wouldn't you think that you're most likely going to get tested for drug and alcohol, or recreational drugs, I should say, and alcohol?
Yeah, and I
logically.
Yeah, no, because I've had to deal with this in my profession. There are, and it depends on the group. Like if it's even if it's say it's health practitioners. Mm-hmm. If you're a nurse practitioner versus a physician's assistant versus a physician and surgeon, they have different rules because they have different organizations, and they will say, no, you have to test for these 12 or no, these 16, because they lump them all together. If you were caught, with a DUI, then they'll test you for marijuana, for barbiturates.
Right.
Everyone has their own
opiates, all that.
Right.
Yeah.
But a simple phone call say, what am I being tested for? Or
so she can
just look at your old results and see.
Yes.
You definitely would want to make sure, though, even if your old results didn't include it, I'd want to know what the regulations are, just so you don't get into trouble. Why?
Yeah. It's
completely
unrelated.
Yeah.
I would think, but I don't want to tell her that.
Well, from what I've heard from some of these programs, they can be brutal, and when people have spent a long time, I'm not saying that they should be punished for whatever happens, and I'm not making judgments either way. You got to stick to the rules.
Yeah.
But if you've put in your time, again, for example, just use this as an example. For example, as a nurse practitioner.
Yeah.
If they told you, hey, you can't eat Oreos for the next 20 years, you'd say, or whatever your favorite is, you say, okay, fine. I just want to get back to my job, and I want to get back to where I've invested all my time and make that worthwhile.
Yeah.
But to that end, just find out.
Okay.
Don't guess when you can just make a phone call, or preferably get it in writing. But to your point, I don't see the connection between oxandrolone and alcohol or barbiturates.
Right.
That's a simple answer. The other thing is she asked about other things. There's peptides out there, secretagogues, and non-peptides would be included there too. Ibutamoren, we mentioned earlier, they can help lean you out because you're gonna get your body to make more growth hormone / IGF-1. So she can consider those too. There's TB500 thymosin, beta. There's CJC1295. There's epamorelin. There's samorelin and tesamorelin. Working through different mechanisms, by the way, but all with the goal of increasing the growth hormone / IGF-1, which can increase the muscle mass, not as well as the anabolics can leverage that.
Yeah.
But can definitely also help get rid of fat more directly than, say, an anabolic. Although, oxandrolone is one of the few anabolics that has studies supporting its both anabolic properties as well as catabolic properties. And I'm not talking about catabolism secondary to muscle mass, increasing metabolism and then helping you burn off fat while you're sleeping. I'm talking about literally direct mechanisms of burning fat. So oxandrolone's a good one. And then, when do guys and gals use oxandrolone most of all?
Pre-contest.
Bodybuilding.
Pre-contest,
pre-contest, because they know, hey, it's time to get rid of the excess fat.
Yeah. It's good to, sometimes things become just part of the culture, but when you hear things like that, it's like, okay, it's not old wives' tales, or it's real.
It wasn't just perception.
That's right. Because sometimes you just listen to people because that's what's being told, that's what's out there, so.
Well, this is why I love science, because it's the old joke about the guy with the huge arms at the gym, and he's got the barbell, and he's doing this with his curls, and that's what I got to do, and you see 27 people doing it. No, he had the genes. He get his dad, his grandpa.
It doesn't matter what he does.
He does exactly what he does, but you make that leap, and it just messes with you. It's great to have science on your side, where you have random controlled trials and all kinds of stuff. Unfortunately, though, this isn't something that they in medicine and scientists are going to get a grant for anytime soon, likely. So like I said earlier, we have, and I couldn't even tell you the number, it was a long time ago I looked into it, but there's at least one study that shows the difference between 200 milligrams of testosterone a week in a male subject versus 600 of testosterone cypionate, and the differences in how 600 actually could be considered better for you as long as you take certain precautions.
That's right.
But you're not going to see a lot of studies like that. But anyway.
Awesome. I think she'll be happy.
I hope so.
Yeah, I think so. All right, thanks, Doc.